It made perfect sense to me to infuse some kind of individual personality to Reloaded and to Revolutions, but within the idea of looking to the first Matrix, so that Reloaded and Revolutions will be adding to the first Matrix experience rather than going off on some kind of weird tangent that had nothing to do with it. It's not a matter of improving on what I did in the Matrix. It was a matter of developing the ideas that we had established in the first movie. Even though it's not what you could call a thematic score, there is a thematic continuity. There was a Neo-Trinity love theme that just barely made a statement in the first Matrix and made a fairly strong statement in Reloaded. And then Revolutions, it kind of went to town. We wanted the feeling that it was the same movie, at least musically, that it was, you know, a continuum of these ideas. So the way I approached it was kind of like the second and third movement of a three-movement symphony, really. 4, 5, 6. A symphony, in basic lay terms, is a really long orchestral piece, and they're normally broken up into movements. I think I was able to give Reloaded and Revolutions a unique personality to the music, but in terms of style, and it really is a matter of style, I think I was able to keep some continuity going. Okay. And for 14, I'd like everybody to come down a notch.
Notice it getting higher and lower. We tune them to actual pitches to go with the bass line of the orchestra.
Hubcap mixing bowl, some brass rods welded.
And I think a new number stand on
Exhaust pipe tailpiece.
Sure looks like a big stand film.
And a garden variety bass bow.
Violins, 34, the upbeat of 3 tied to a dotted half note.
That's not something too many people do.
Not that many composers use that technique. I would still love it. It's pretty mysterious and eerie.
It's more of a gesture than a theme. That really got me through quite a few moments in Reloaded. There's a gesture with the brass. You know, say the trumpet section was playing a triad, and they'd start soft and get really loud, and at the same time, the horns were playing a different triad, and they'd start loud and get soft. And this worked very well symbolically between this musical concept and the underlying structure of the Matrix story. I thought Osiris was a brilliant piece of filmmaking. It had the same effect on me as I think it had on the audience in drawing the audience back into the Matrix world. It was a chance to reach into that well again and apply it to this short picture before I jumped into Reloaded. And actually, that was a big help for me. The other animes weren't quite stylistically in the same arena as the Matrix, so each of those kind of had to be approached as an individual entity. Detective story about this hard-boiled detective. I kind of approached it like a 1950s film noir thing with a little bit of a jazz feel that had nothing to do with anything in the Matrix. But Final Flight definitely got the juices flowing and was just the ticket for Reloaded. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I think the most striking element is the use of the choir, which was really, really a lot of fun. There shouldn't be a lot of vibrato. I'd say just kind of a subtle vibrato. Poco vibrato. The way that came about is that Larry and Andy initially told me they wanted a major choir statement in what they called the Super Burly Brawl, which was the final cataclysmic confrontation between Neil and Smith. And I thought that was a really excellent idea, but I knew that we needed to have a text for the choir to sing, or else it wouldn't, it really wouldn't function properly. So I asked them if they could find something that was in the public domain that reflected the ideology that they were referring to in all three pictures. I suggested that it preferably would not be in English, and even better would be in a dead language like Latin. So my feeling was that if the choir was singing in English, and saying, "This is the one, watch what he does," it would be really antithetical to everything that they came up with. So I think it was Larry who came up with the idea of using passages from the Upanishads, which are the ancient Vedic scriptures that the Hindu religion is based on. And he wanted to do it in the original Sanskrit. And when I saw the passages that they had chosen, I was astonished at how well integrated these ancient writings were to the entire ideology that Larry and Andy had come up with for the whole thing. These are referencing the one. From delusion, lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. From death, lead me to immortality. I thought that it raised the level of the integration between the music and the action, exponentially. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that the epic nature of the film was reflected in the music, and the conclusion of this mythology made for a very satisfying end to it. So I was particularly pleased by this epic nature, and I thought that the choir and the orchestra in the Super Burly Brawl was really kind of a wonderful moment for me.